Dismissing anybody who thought that a South Korean value-minded luxury sedan could be a challenge, Hyundai proved to the world that the Genesis could, in fact, be a sales success. But in its first iteration, there were growing pains. It hadn't quite figured out where it sat in the luxury market, and now the company is using those lessons to bring a true luxury product to market. Like the previous generation, this car uses a 3.8-liter V6 and a 5-liter V8, although in this case it rides on a completely new chassis that offers rear-wheel drive, but for the first time, also all-wheel drive. Hyundai says that it's entirely new, more stiff, in fact more so than a BMW 5 Series, and unfortunately you're going to have to settle with the V6 if you want the all-wheel drive option, but for the most part they promise that this car will be a much more refined drive. Regardless of which engine you choose, you're going to be saddled with an 8-speed automatic as standard equipment. And as you can see from looking at the car, it wears a fresh new face that, at least in my opinion, looks much better than the first generation. In fact, this is Hyundai's first iteration of its new Fluidic 2.0 design language that you're going to start seeing appearing across all of its cars, including, next up, the next Sonata. As with the outside, the interior is all new. It offers more space, uses more premium materials, and moves from not single, but double stitching on that leather. Also, they've reduced the number of buttons, simplified the cabin, and here's the coolest feature. Hyundai's including a CO2 sensor in the cabin to make sure that you're breathing in enough of the good stuff to stay awake while you're driving. Hyundai hasn't announced complete pricing for the car yet, but they have promised that it will start at under $40,000. Read into that, and it probably means that it's going to start right around $39,990, but who knows? If you're familiar with the old Genesis, you also realize that means a price increase over the outgoing model, although with the additional content, it's probably very well justified.